Good evening, everyone. This is Coffee Brown, and my YouTube channel is Coffee Spills the Tea. And today is Thursday, although kind of late, February 13th, 2025. So, first of all, happy Galentine's Day to the women who are just like, hey, I just want to get together with my girlfriends, or maybe I just want to be by myself or do whatever. You don't have a significant other, whatever. You just want to have like a day to celebrate you. This is your day. Happy Galentine's Day. All right. So, no makeup because I don't have time because it is going into the evening. I have a huge exam tomorrow that is hopefully taking me down a different path. As I mentioned, I am doing something different. Let me start first by saying, hey, again, it's my channel, Coffee Spills the Tea. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. It helps my algorithms, helps bring more people to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. You can hit the notification bell, hit the all, and then you'll get notifications when I upload videos. Because as you can see, I'm uploading them all crazy, willy-nilly. But I generally try to do every Monday and every Thursday, which is why it's coming so late, because I'm like, I really want to get it done before midnight on Thursday, so it counts for Thursday. Yeah, and then if there's like a little quick snippet I need to do real quick, I'll jump on just for a few minutes and do whatever. But this channel is a channel for Black women. I'm a Black woman. I've just been kind of chronicling things that I have been doing to achieve goals and to be able to get to where I want to be, to where I'm happy with my life. Not saying I'm not like walking around sad all the time, or that I am walking around sad all the time. I'm not. It's just that at a certain point I was realizing that I'm doing everything for everyone else, nothing for me. And I'm not putting myself first. And it's not selfish to say that you're putting yourself first, because I really feel like if you put yourself first, you can actually take care of people around you better. But if you're putting yourself third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 10th, 12th, 13th, not even factoring yourself in, I just think after a while, it just wears you down. And so that's what's been going on with me. I've just been worn down and just trying to do everything for everybody and trying to please everybody and doing whatever. And it's just not always working out. So at a certain point in time, I was just like, I have to take it. What's that song with John Legend? Take it slow, whoa, whoa. I had to take it slow. I don't even think I could sing it long because I'm sure the YouTube people would probably be like, what's that song? And they would probably pull it. But, like I've been saying to myself, you know what, it's just time. Yeah, ever since, and again, I try not to get too political, but it's part of our DNA now for this government, for this country, for this society. And after the election, I just felt like it was a referendum about Black women. We're just not ever going to be, I think, truly, like I would say, not even tolerated, but accepted in society, just in general. And so I just got really tired and sad, and I haven't been able to sleep very well since then. And then I started saying, you know what, I'm going to start making plans for myself. I'm going to do things that I've been wanting to do for a really long time. And one of the major things I wanted to do was move overseas. So I just, I have traveled a lot, sometimes for up to a year, sometimes for a month, sometimes for a week, sometimes for a few days. But I love going to lots of different countries, but the country that I've settled on is Italy and now Portugal. For good reasons. And then I've mentioned some of them before, and I'll go into more detail as I'm able to kind of get things together and make things materialize, because I just have figured out that if I can do it and chronicle it, then if other people are thinking about it, then they might be able to do it too. And, just follow their dreams, follow their heart. And I'm following mine by leaving and starting over and just going someplace else and just being able to, uh, just be myself someplace else. And part of the reason why I love Italy is because I have friends there. Every time I travel back and forth, I meet more people, more Italians. And so I have friends dotted all around Italy, some in the north, I think one or two, yeah, a couple in the south. I have friends, friends there. I also have friends in Switzerland. Um, I have friends in Southeast Asia. I have friends in Africa. I have family in Australia. Um, yeah, I have a lot of friends and family all over the place. So I can choose to go anywhere, but that's where I feel like I would be happy. Of course, nothing's gonna really be able to kind of solidify for me until I get there and I start to actually live my life and figure things out. And I have to start figuring things out by figuring them out on this end. If you're going to do anything life changing, whether it be something like this, where you're like, you know what, I'm making a major change, I'm just leaving the country. Or, maybe you're just saying, hey, you know what, I'm just going to move across country or different state or whatever it is that you want to do that's different and life changing. You have to make a plan. So I've been making plans, making short-term goals, long-term goals, and always making sure that I'm working towards a plan. And having like an end game as well. Of course, the end game is to get over there. Get over there. I still gotta find, yes. And I knew there had to be some kind of karma because I found like I said, when I was clearing out my storage, I had storage and I'd been paying like almost $400 a month off of it for years, like almost 3 years. And it was insane. And I finally closed it out because I couldn't do it anymore because it was costing a lot of money. And I was just like, I could have taken that money and bought a house in another country by now, maybe 3. And so I closed it out. And I knew that there was something there because something was telling me that I was doing the right thing because I found all kinds of things. I found jewelry. I found money. I found euros. And I was like, woo, okay. Found like $200 worth of like cash and money. Not to say even like how much change I found in there as well. It's just crazy. It's a lot. And then a lot of things that I brought back here that I'm selling, which I'm trying to like hide by not like showing my entire background here, but I have a lot of things here that I need to sell. And I've got a bit of time because I'm just trying to like pull together, like the long-term plan. I'm not someone that's just going to jump and just go and then find out like 2 months when I get there, after I get there, that, oh, I'm on a tourist visa and I have to be back home in a month. And I gave up everything and moved out and moved all my things here and paid all kinds of money. And then I have to turn around and come back because my visa was denied because I have a tourist visa and I should have done it here in the United States. So yeah, if you're going to be doing something like this, you're going to be leaving the country, you need to contact that consulate and find out exactly what it is that you need to do. Look at the different types of visas and decide, like, what do you want to do? Just because you move overseas doesn't mean you have to renounce your U.S. citizenship and give up your passport. You can get 1, 2, or you can get extra. You can get more passports. Look at dude that has that owns Tesla. He has 3 citizenships. He has South Africa, Canada, United States. Okay. So if he can have 3 passports, any of you can have 3 passports. Any of you. At least 2. So think about it. It'd be nice to be able to like just go and just be like, okay, I'm just going to put away this U.S. passport for a little bit. I'm going to travel off my Portuguese passport for a while. You go in there, you roll into another country. Obrigado! It's like, okay, I am Portuguese. Portuguese, whatever. So, yeah. So those are things that I'm working on. Yes. I wanted to, I talked about this a little bit on Monday because it was Super Bowl on Sunday, and of course, like on Monday, everybody was talking about it, and I had I had some moments. I had some moments. Now here's what. Then after, because I like to do this, I like to get on YouTube because YouTube is great. Like they have everything on there, and I like to go through old performances from Super Bowls and whatnot. And I said to myself, you know what? I'm just gonna let's talk for a minute because here's what. Like after that performance, I just wanted to say I'm gonna look at like all the Super Bowls, not the ones before Michael Jackson, because before that they were just like Disney on Ice and they were really hokey and like really nobody cares. But and hey, here's the thing. Put it in the chat, like in the comments rather. Put in the comments like what are your top Super Bowl performances? Go back through them. Look them all up. And if you haven't been around long enough to see them, you can go on YouTube and you can look them all up. Every single one of them in full, in entirety. Some of them are a little bit like, in the beginning, they're just a little bit off. But we didn't have great, like we had like analog TV and stuff back then. So it's not that great. Some of the performances as far as like how they were shot were just not really well done. But then they started getting better over the years. So yeah. So I said, you know what? I just want to rank these. And then we'll talk about number one and why I think number one, and I know this is totally off, but the number one had me thinking like, you just want to be like, so I felt like I was like, okay, so I'm just going to run through. I'm going through the top 15. And I'm going to start with number 15, the 15th best performance, the Super Bowl, what year, and if I remember some things about like what they did during that Super Bowl performance, I'm going to like say something about that as well. So let me see. Yeah. Cause I put it on a computer as well. And then I put it like on a piece of paper. Number 15, The Who. I like The Who. I like all kinds of stuff. Like I like Steely Dan. I like Tom Petty. I like, Rush. I like, Guns N' Roses. I like Megadeth. I like, Metallica. I sometimes, I love AC/DC. Like they're just, sometimes you just want to bang your head. But it's not like The Who is like in that. But and I like Jethro Tull as well. And really, I wish they would do a performance. Anyways, let's get back. But See Me, Feel Me, I love that. Pinball Wizard, I love those songs. So I was happy to do that. That was in 2010. Number 14, Lady Gaga. Because she went through so many of her hits. And it was just nonstop. And I think I remember her starting at the top of the stadium and singing God Bless America and then just jumping off into the stadium. And I was like, okay, she got some things planned. But I liked her performance. I think she almost went a little bit nude, or she like did a little flash of the butt for a second there, but still, great performance. Number 13, Tom Petty, 2008. Now look, as I said before, I love Tom Petty. When he passed away, I was so sad. I was a spin instructor at the time, and I did an entire Tom Petty class. And surprisingly, my entire class loved that class. Like, they loved it. But I love American Girl. He did Free Fallin'. I was really upset that he didn't do Don't Come Around Here No More, because that is my absolutely favorite song of his. And mostly because I think it's the video of Alice in Wonderland, which was just genius. I love that video. I love Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. I know that some people are gonna be like, wow, this is kind of, because I'm now on number 12, Beyonce, 2013. I love Beyonce. I love her. If I could just be in her orbit somewhere, like a state away. I would just be like, ah, I would love that. I loved her performance in her Super Bowl. I loved having the Destiny Child come up from underneath the stage and hop up, and Michelle's eyelash looked like it had fallen a tiny bit. But then she, I think, must have got like a second to kind of pull it back up, and she looked like she was angry. And I just loved that performance until she finished with Single Ladies and started Halo. And then that performance went from here in intensity to like down there. Now I know that they said that, and I read somewhere that Halo is one of the most popular songs on earth or something like that. I freaking dislike it a lot. I don't like it. I know her voice is good. I know she goes all over the place. Something like she goes really emotional. I freaking hate it. It's the only song in her catalog that I'm like, if I heard it, I would just want to stab my eyes out. I'm sorry. But everything else. Now, exception would be if I was at her concert, I would just be like so much wrapped up in the moment that I wouldn't even realize that she was singing it. Because I know she's going to sing it because everybody loves it. I love you, Beyonce. I really do. Which is why number 11 is Coldplay. And they did that in 2016. And the only part of the Coldplay that I like that's worth mentioning is the part when Bruno Mars came out and took over for that, whatever that was that Coldplay was doing. And then Beyonce came on with her formation and had her dancers with the berets, and then they had like the whole dance battle thing. Okay, right there. And then as soon as that part ended, that halftime performance meant nothing. It was nothing before Bruno Mars, and Beyonce arrived, and it was nothing after the two of them left. So just that one part puts them ahead at number 11. Number 10, Katy Perry and the Left Shark. 2015. Now, she had such good energy. And she just went through like her songs, like loved it. I don't know how she is personally, but her music, I love. And when she brought out Lenny Kravitz, I loved that because I love Lenny Kravitz. I think he's an awesome guitarist. I just don't think that people give him a lot of credit, or they just don't realize the musicality of Lenny Kravitz with that guitar. He's awesome. And Missy Elliott, she came out and tore that show up, and she dotted the I and crossed the T, and that was that. And it was kind of funny because like younger people were like, who's this new lady? No, Missy Elliott is the music industry. Okay. And everything just kind of revolves around her. Okay. So I was just like, yeah, I was really happy about seeing Missy Elliott. Number 9, Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake in 2004. Now look, they'd had some years before that where it was, let's see, I'm gonna just kind of go backwards a little bit, if I can, on my computer. That was 2004. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was 2003 was Should I Attain? No Doubt. 2002 was Aerosmith, NSYNC, Britney Spears, Mary J. Blige, and Nelly. Then they had 2002. Okay, yeah. So 2000, yeah. So there's like a gap of time where there just really wasn't much going on in the Super Bowl, and I was not feeling it. And then here comes MTV, and I think it was the first year that no, it wasn't the first year. It wasn't the first year, but they were like, we're going to do something different. And they did something different. And I don't care. It was a more wardrobe malfunction. I believe everything. I think they had not rehearsed it, just like they said. And I think Justin just ripped and she looked like she was in all kinds of consternation. And I just don't believe to this day that it was something that was purposely done. And Janet Jackson was eviscerated for it. And I thought it was an awesome performance. I don't care. Even the end, which was sad because it just kind of ruined her career. But I thought it was an awesome Super Bowl. Loved it. Number 8, Madonna, 2012. Now, another person, she like went through all her hits, like one after the other, after the other, after the other. I loved it. CeeLo, I don't know how he is as a person, but I loved his voice and him at the end with the choir and whatever was great. I loved Nicki Minaj. I don't know who the other chick was, like something, I forget her name, but I really didn't appreciate the whole middle finger thing. I don't know what was going on there. I don't even know her name, and I don't care. But I think whatever she did, like when she did that, it was just kind of like, why did you do that? Like, what was going on? I just didn't appreciate it. Like, what did I do? It was like, okay, I don't know. But other than that brief little thing there, loved it. She had like LMFAO on there. And I just remember like thinking, okay, Madonna, you're dancing. but like these little guys there, they're kind of showing that you're kind of like, like that was a fast dance. That was a fast dance, Madonna. But she still, like, she was awesome. Like, she did so much dancing. She did dancing that I just don't know how she could have done. She had amazing flexibility. She was, like, down on the floor, getting up, doing all kinds of, like, dancing, whatever. I love a good musical performance where there's a lot of dancing and you could see everything with the dancing, whatever. I love dancing. Okay, so that was number 8. Number 7, Dr. Dre's. Dr. Dre's halftime performance. I loved seeing 50 Cent. I love seeing Kendrick doing all right. Like, that was probably one of the highlights of my Super Bowl with him. Of that was seeing that. I can't remember what was going on that year, but I felt like I needed it. Mary J. Blige, like, she just killed it. Okay, like, and I did like Snoop's performance. I do not like him right now. Not really happy with him. Sellout. Sorry. No, not sorry. Okay, I'm not. He's a sellout. Let's see. And again, these are all opinions. And people's opinions will differ, and I respect it. That's just how I feel. Diana Ross, number 6, 1996. Now, just enough said, because she's got the hair and the performance, and my goodness, if you've ever seen her live in concert, you'd be like, okay, yes, Mary, yes, okay, like, she's very good. Like, she has really good performances. Can't knock her. You just can't knock her. Really good performances. Number 5, Paul McCartney, 2005. Now, I remember Paul McCartney just being a little bit subdued. However, I'm okay with that. I like Paul McCartney's voice. I like Paul McCartney. So, yeah, I just really liked his performance. Number 4, Stevie Wonder and Gloria Estefan. Now, look. And I'm sure, and I think there was like Sandoval was on there on the stage. It was kind of like a African-American, like Cuban kind of like fusion kind of thing. And I just felt like the music between them blended really well. And when you do Another Star, when Stevie Wonder does Another Star, okay, you got me. Okay. Now, number 3, and this makes me real sad to say this, because I really agonized over who goes number 3. And I just agonized. Number 3 was Prince, 2007. I mean, first of all, he's a musical genius. He's dancing in the rain. His backup dancers, everyone's dancing in the rain. He's playing his guitar in the rain. And then when he starts singing Purple Rain, it's raining. I was just like, okay. You know? So, right. Number 2 was Michael Jackson, 1993. Now, look, he's the one that started the whole raising of the bar. Because I think before that, they were just doing Disney and stuff on ice and like stupid things where like they were just kind of like, oh, it's halftime. Let's do like Snoopy on the field running around with Charlie Brown and like, you know, and like Lucy throwing the football and like, you know, it was just crazy stuff. Like, you know, just weird things. Like somebody was like, I don't understand it. It's the Super Bowl. I'm not quite sure like why they were doing halftime shows like that, except that they just didn't care. They just didn't care. So it's just like, okay. But I think once they had Brian Boitano or something, I don't know. or I don't know, or Nancy Kerrigan. I can't remember. It's just like really bad. I don't know. They've done some things on ice. Let me look up and see. Let me go up and see like what they had before. I'm just going to quickly just kind of like run through this and see if I can. I'm just scrolling real quick to see like who they had. Like, I don't see, I don't see. Sorry, I'm laughing. I don't see it like offhand up here. And I have it like all down here. Like they have one where they did Salute to Hollywood's 100th anniversary with George Burns, Mickey Rooney, Grambling State University. Like I'm laughing so hard because like what they did before Michael Jackson was just, oh, here it is. Salute to New Orleans and 40th anniversary of Peanuts. Peanuts. So, and I love Charles Schultz. But what were they thinking of? What were they thinking about? Oh, here it is. They had Brian Boitano. Dorothy Animal. And the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team. Like, that was in 1992. And I think somebody said, we've reached a new low. We can't do this anymore. So what did they do? They called the person who they were like, we can remove the stain. The stain of disdain. We can't go any lower. We need to come back. And so 1993, they brought Michael Jackson. and because of how he revolutionized like what the Super Bowl meant is with the halftime show, he is number 2. And I think the only reason why he's above Prince because he was the first one to matter. And I think they said like when they did the Peanuts, oh no, the Winter Salute, they had Gloria Estefan too. So she's one of the few, if probably the only, that's done a Super Bowl performance more than once. Because she came back and she was able to redeem herself in 1999 with Stevie Wonder. I'm sorry. I'm now giggling because I was just thinking about that. I have an honorable mention. My honorable mention is 2001 when U2 came, or actually was it 2002? Would have been 2002. They did a tribute. Yes, it was 2002. They did a tribute to the 9/11, to the victims of 9/11. And they played the MOK, they played Beautiful Day, and I thought they did a really good job. And I think a lot of people were still so sad. I mean, not I think, everybody was still so sad after the trauma of what went on 9/11. And if you were alive for that and you saw that, it is just mind-blowing. And, it was just a really hard day. I remember because I lived in a high rise in a city where it was one of the largest high rises in the world at the time. So I didn't know what to do. So I left. I just left. Well, I was at work and I was just like, I have to leave. I went to a youth hostel and they knew me at the youth hostel because I was volunteering there. So they were like, yeah, we were waiting for you. Here's a bed. Here's a room. It's yours. You don't have to share with anyone. It was really nice. Anyway, so YouTube, they did a really good job with the tribute to 9/11. The number one performance, as you might have guessed by now, that I've ever felt so strongly about was the Kendrick Lamar 2025 Super Bowl. Kendrick Lamar. I admire the fact that he's the first rapper to do an entire Super Bowl performance that was all rap. He is one of, I've always said that I've admired him as a rapper more than most rappers out there. Other than maybe, I mean, I'm not even going to say like other than like, these people are better, these people are better. But I'll say there are certain people that I put on a pedestal that's so high. And very few. I would say like Nas and like and Tupac and Kendrick. Like that's my trinity of rap. Okay, like okay, that's those are the people I admire, rappers. I mean, I would probably put Nicki Minaj up there too, because I think she's awesome. She has longevity, she has skin in the game, and she knows how to push back. And long after people who are trying to do disses against her or they're trying to go up against her, long after they have moved on to do whatever, and they're just out there doing their YouTubes and whatever, and being messy out there on the streets, she's still out there throwing albums out. So, yeah, love her. Now, there are others out there that are just as great. But those are the ones that I'm always thinking about when it comes to rap. And I don't care what people say. Nicki Minaj is a rapper. She's a rapper. Okay, now. I'm not going to go too much longer. I always say that and then I end up going quite long. But, this is where I would love to hear other people in the comments. What do they think? But I felt like that performance was, first of all, I knew that for me, and part of it is that I'm not like deaf, but I do have hard of hearing issue. And that's just from certain jobs that I've had that have literally damaged my ears. So I said, when I listen to some people, even if I'm talking to them, sometimes I'll be like, what'd you say? What? Huh? So I was like, I know I'm going to have a little bit of a stress listening to him because his voice is, it goes low, it goes high, it goes low, it goes high. And I'm just like, I'm going to put in my my Bluetooth so I can listen to everything and pay attention. Because I feel like when it comes to Kendrick, he's got something to say. You need to hear everything he says, and then you need to be able to watch what's going on around him, because he always has a message, always. And so, and so I respect that. He doesn't like talk down to us, our people. I respect that. He's really low key. He's not out there running around gold chains, running over to inauguration balls and doing all kinds of events and whatnot, and flashing his money and all that stuff. That's not him. Like, I just don't even recall anything other than this beef he's got with Drake, which Drake needs to stop. He needs to go back, get in his wheelchair, be Jimmy Brooks, roll his butt back to Canada and get back on Degrassi and leave Kendrick alone. Because if you come for him, he's going to come for you like twice as hard. And he's going to put you down good. So, but something in me said he's not just going to do something where he's just going to diss Drake like the entire Super Bowl. He's got this huge audience. Why would he do that? That's giving Drake too much power. Okay. And they were talking about, the Louisiana senators or not senators. I think they were the Louisiana congressmen or something like that, or city council people. I can't remember. And they were like, "Oh, we're going to be watching him, and he can't do this and he can't do that." And the lawyers were out there saying, "Oh, he can't. We're going to check everything. We're going to look over every word. And the censors are out there with a button just waiting. We're going to censor this. We're going to wait. We're going to put our thumb over that censor button. And I'm just thinking to myself, this is a lot." And that's why I know Kendrick has power. Kendrick Lamar has power. K-Dot's got some power behind him, because for all those people to go nuts, he knew he had an audience, and he knew he had a stage, and he had something to say, and he was going to say it. And the thing is about Kendrick Lamar is that he's so smart when he raps that if you don't understand it, it wasn't meant for you. Or maybe it was, and you need to learn. Maybe you need to learn it. Okay, so you need to learn what he's saying, and then you need to understand what the message is. And so I really love that. So I put my Bluetooth in and I listened real hard. And I looked at all the things that were happening. He's on the car rapping, and then he opens the door and everybody's piling out. And I'm like, okay, that's crazy. And then, and having Samuel L. Jackson out in his, Uncle Sam outfit, and thinking about Django Unchained, and just so much going on, and seeing that flag made up of black people, not just light-skinned or whatever, but just black people. And I'm not saying anything, because you know how it is with our families. I have a huge family. Huge, many brothers and sisters, and many, many cousins. And you can line us up from light all the way up to the darkest. Got nothing wrong with that. And not all of my relatives are fully black. Some of them they come from mixed families, whatever. Love them all. But to see just the full gamut of black people that are not even represented that often in society made me feel really good. And seeing them represent the flag, and that really was good. I just saw so much going on, and that my mind was just and I just took in what I could, read some things the next day, and it wasn't until just before I got on this video right now that I went back and watched it one more time, just kind of get my feelings straight, and just say to myself, okay, I need to see it again, just one more time, because I just felt like I wanted to spend my time talking about this, and then I'll never talk about Super Bowl again, unless people are in the comments saying we need to talk about it. Then maybe we can do a live or something, or it would have to be a live. But I felt so happy when Kendrick Lamar had the women that were surrounding him, and it wasn't those skinny ladies, and they were all, to me, they were multiple different shapes. There wasn't anyone that was really big like me. I'm a bigger lady, but they were full-figured women. There were women that weren't the skinny ones that are a size 0 or a size 1. They weren't having to feel apologetic. They were showing their belly buttons. They were just being women. And he was respecting that. And he brought out SZA, and she was SZA, just beautiful, and showing her belly button. And I was just like, I'm really admiring that. And for me, I just felt like that was kind of, it was validation of us as Black women, and that just made me feel safe. And I have not felt safe in months. Like, you can understand why sometimes I'm doing these videos like really late at night, because I cannot sleep these days. I just can't sleep. Like, it's been months since I've like said, yeah, I'm gonna get to bed early, and then got to bed early, and it's like not 2 a.m, and then I'm up at 6, and I'm just tired all day. But that's what's going on in my mind and in my head. And so when I watched that Super Bowl performance, I just felt safe. I felt like I was in a space where I could be safe, where I could be respected, where I felt validated, where I looked at images that were coming back at me on the TV that for once wasn't something that was a threat or a put down or anything like that. Made me feel good. And like I love seeing Serena Williams, right? Like, when she popped up on the end, I was just like, wait a minute, is that Serena Williams? Yeah. So, and it was, and seeing her dance, no, that was like a partly it was like a sticking it to Drake thing. Part of it was, but part of it was, I think, respect the fact that she can get on that floor and dance and do her thing and represent. Okay. And so I felt like that was an important Super Bowl. I felt like Kendrick had things to say. He said it. He made a point. And I think that this is the one Super Bowl that people are going to continue to talk about and talk about and talk about and talk about. Because I don't think, other than the U2 tribute in 2001, which was just a tribute, not just, but it was a tribute where they just sang songs that really kind of made people think and feel sad and like just kind of like move on, and not move on, but like, because I remember thinking, are they going to have a halftime show? Because it was just such a sad time. But this is the first Super Bowl that I felt had symbolism and had meaning, and like it made me feel like there was a message that Kendrick said, it's bigger than me. I mean, there's a message out there. Like, I just said to myself, I feel safe. I feel safe. Kendrick Lamar is one of those people that I said would never sell us out. He's never going to sell out his people. He's never going to go say, oh yeah, I'm getting paid, and that's why I'm going to go off and be with this person who is against us, who's telling us that we are not like at his level or his or her level, that's like saying the N-word and letting people like rap it alongside him in a place where they actually mean the hard R when they say the N-word. Whereas like Snoop's songs are with the A. But there's no distinction. And he's cool with it because he's just like, I'm getting paid. I'm a black man, whatever. No, you're an Oreo. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I'm not going to apologize for this, because I felt hurt when I saw that like, and flaunting money in front of so many of us that don't have it, and just saying, I'm getting paid. How much money do rich people need? Like, really? You get to a certain point where you have wealth. Like, why do you need more? I mean, no problem if you want it, go for it. But to sell out your people in order to do it, like, I could never imagine I'm just going to go a totally different way. Could never imagine like Beyonce saying, I'm just going to go and like work this inauguration and like go and like do a performance with these supremacist people and like that hate my people and just do the performance. Like I just could never do that. I could never see her do that. And I know some people will be like, oh, but you know, she went to Dubai and she did this performance in like Abu Dhabi or Dubai or whatever. And they are, you know, they have some certain thing, but in that case, that is their culture. Like the men are a certain way, the women are a certain way, the society is that way. It's not hate, it's the culture. And she went out there and she was not like she was like real dressed herself. I saw what she wore in the performances and they were okay with it. They're okay with the Western society people that come in as long as you're not doing crazy stuff. Like on Sex and the City Part 2, the movie, the second one. The one where Samantha goes off to the beach with, no, you don't do that. Okay? I'm digressing. Let's get back on track. But, you know, it made me feel unsafe when I'm sitting there watching these black men that I respected previously, because I have no reason to disrespect unless you do something to then make me feel like I can't respect you anymore. And it's not that I disrespect, I just don't respect. It doesn't make me feel safe. It doesn't make me feel safe. Because I was like, if Snoop can go down, who else is going to go down with him? Who else is going to sell us out? Who else? It made me feel really, really sad. So yeah, so I was looking forward to this halftime Super Bowl performance with Kendrick Lamar. I enjoyed it. I loved it. Half of the time I was screaming, you know, and like yelling and like screaming at, yeah, you go. I did not watch the Super Bowl at all. I told my friend, you call me when they're getting ready to like turn on the lights for the halftime. You call me. And he called me. So I flipped it on, watched it on Tubi. And as soon as Kendrick took that remote, and then off went the app. Because I wanted to show that I wanted them to add the ratings up, and I wanted those ratings for Kendrick Lamar to be more than the entire ratings for the Super Bowl, which I believe it was. So, mission accomplished. All right. If you have watched the Kendrick Lamar and you get it, then that's great. If you haven't watched it and you're like, I'm not quite sure what's going on, please go back and watch it again. First, I would say, like, go and get a few perspectives on what was going on, not from people who are like, don't get it. Because here's the thing, and this is the funny thing, and I know I said I was going to end this 10 minutes ago, right? The people who did watch it, these people, right, that didn't get it, and all they were like, it's the worst Super Bowl ever. All he's doing is rapping. I can't understand what he's saying. I don't even see any, there's no musicality, blah, 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 blah. Once everybody started talking about what the meanings were behind it, and the fact that he's able to do that in front of the person who's supposed to be the most powerful person in the world, in his box, looking down at Kendrick, and Kendrick just kind of like, you know, read between the lines, okay, and was able to just write back at it, and it was totally over his head, and I knew it was going to be, which I think made it much more powerful, that he's able to do all of that, and all those people that are like, I've got the censor button going, and we're going to pull, and all these things that were going to happen, you know, like, that they were going to do, if he did this, if he did this, if he did this. And in the end, they did nothing. And he's able to get his message across and make sure that we understood, that we knew this is revolution. Things are going to change. It made me feel stronger and better. And, and I just felt like, it's kind of like that waiting to exhale where you're like, I can finally exhale. Anyway, I will not talk about that Super Bowl again, but I'm going to tell you, if you haven't, go watch it, read up on it first, read up from some people who know some things, not the ones who are upset, who found out what it meant and then got upset, and all that stupid outrage. You don't even know. You don't even understand why you're outraged. Ridiculous. Don't be telling me, oh, there weren't any of these dancers. Well, you know what? We don't have DEI anymore. So if we don't have DEI, we don't need to include this anymore. Just like they don't need to include this if they don't want to anymore. It goes both ways. Okay? If you want to be on the field with that caliber, then you need to show that you can be at that caliber. Okay? Just needs to say that. But you go get those, go read up on it and then watch it again. And then I would say watch it again. Like, go away and think about it and come back and watch it again. And then watch it again. And then save it, and save it in your saves and watch it whenever you feel like you're down or you're upset or something just went wrong again or something else is being dismantled or you hear about something going on that you feel like you can't that you can't handle, or you're feeling like you are losing a piece of yourself, that your mind is, watch it again and let it kind of uplift you. Because I know I felt like in that moment I felt safe. And those 13 minutes and however many seconds, it was a good feeling. So I just want to say thank you, Kendrick Lamar. Thank you for a few minutes of giving me and other women that voice and that representation of normalcy, and not spending one rhyme putting us down or calling us this, but uplifting us. So I thank you, Kendrick. Okay. So again, this is Koffee Spills the Tea. My name is Koffee Brown. I invite you to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and hit that notification bell and make sure you get the notifications. And put in the comments, what's your top 10 or your top 15 halftime performances? And if you got the time for it, why? And I'm just going to warn you, if you put something mean in there or racist or something, I'm not going to respond to the negativity. I'm still riding the high of that Super Bowl. All right. I have an exam tomorrow, and I still have about a half an hour of studying I need to do. So I am going to log off for now. I will see you all on Monday, and I will have a different story and hopefully a positive outcome of this exam that I'm taking tomorrow night. So until then, this is Koffee Brown. My channel again, Koffee Spills the Tea. I spilled some tea. Y'all have a good evening, and I will see you later. Good night.